Yo, Bulls fans, we are back, and Derrick Jones Jr. just signed with the Dallas Mavericks, and we're gonna get into that, and we're gonna get into what free agents or people we could sign to fill in that 14th spot in the lineup. We're gonna get into that right after this. Alrighty, so let's get into the topic a little bit about Derrick Jones Jr., him signing with the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, it's a 1 year deal. I thought he could have been a guy that the Bulls re-signed and for the vet minimum and filled in that 14th spot with Derrick Jones Jr. But even though he never really got consistent minutes on the Chicago Bulls, he was always ready to play with even when his name was called. Whenever he got the chance and the opportunity to be on the floor, he showed why he should be on the floor and what he can do on the floor. And honestly, I thought he could have been one of the guys that we re-signed, but we didn't. So after we talk a little bit more about Derrick Jones Jr., we're going to talk a little bit about some guys that we could sign to fill in that 14th spot on the roster. But the Mavs are getting a great defensive player and an energy player because you can get out on the break with him, you can throw lobs to him, you could get in transition, and on the defensive end, you're getting a ball pest. I mean, he's going to be on top of the offensive player all game, every second of the game. And Derrick Jones Jr., I mean, he can get up there. He can block shots. I mean, last year with the Bulls, I mean, he didn't get consistent minutes, as I was saying, and he still showed and provided for us on the defensive and offensive end, getting boards on both ends and scoring and playing defense. And, that we all saw that one block on Harden in the 76ers series that saved us the game. I mean, he's a great defensive player, and he's kind of an underrated defensive player. But he only played 64 games with us and only got about 14 minutes a game. 64 seems like a lot of games, but if you actually watch the games, it did not seem like he played 64 games throughout the season. But I think definitely the Mavs are getting a great player in Derrick Jones Jr., and I hope to see him succeed, and I hope he gets more of an opportunity there in the Dallas Mavericks. But now we're going to move into the topic of what guys the Bulls could sign to the 14th spot on the roster. We still have the disabled player exception. We still have the vet minimum we could use. I mean, we got a bunch of different things that we can use towards a player. And three guys I really want to talk about on this list is 1, Javonte Green, 2, Christian Wood, and Rudy Gay is at the number 3. I know everyone's not really high on Rudy Gay, me either, but it's the 14th spot. If the guy that gets signed at the 14th spot probably is not going to be getting too many minutes, but the guy top of the list is probably Christian Wood. I know a lot of people are against that. He's not going to play if he comes in at the 14th spot. He's going to be there for like a veteran. He's going to vet and coach the younger guys and show them what they have to do, coach them in practice, do things, and kind of level up their game. And last season, Christian Wood averaged about 16.5 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, about 2 assists, and 51.5% from the field. His offensive numbers are amazing, but when you get on the defensive end, it's absolutely terrible. He cannot guard a pencil on the court. But I think that it would be a good signing for the Bulls because he could definitely bring a lot of different aspects to this team that he can put and push onto the young guys so that they can level up their game. But I think in blowout games, if we're losing by a lot, if the other team's losing by a lot, I think we could see Christian Wood come in the game and kind of take over a little bit. But let's get to number 2 on the list. We got Javonte Green, former Chicago Bull. He is now on the free agent list, and I think Javonte Green could come back, and I think nobody has signed him yet because of the injuries that he's dealt with this whole season, and I think that's kind of why we're kind of holding back on him, but I think he can bounce back and have a good year. Last year, he averaged 5 points per game, about 3 rebounds, about an assist, and 56.5% from the field. He is a dog on the defensive end. He can get out in transition, throw down lobs. I mean, he can do everything on the NBA court, but with the injuries, it's kind of holding him back, and it's kind of holding back what teams are going to offer him. Injuries are kind of tough to deal with, and they can set back players, and teams do not want a player that's kind of injury prone and can't get on the NBA court. But I think Javonte Green can definitely do that. And last on the list at number 3 is Rudy Gay. No one's very high on him. I'm not very high on him as well. I wouldn't sign him. But last year, he averaged 5 points per game, about 3 rebounds per game, and about 1 assist per game. shot 25.2% from 3, so he's not going to be getting really any NBA minutes. And once again, coming in at the 14th spot on the roster, he's going to be at like a mentor. He's going to be a mentor, and he's going to have to kind of like train, mentor the young guys like DeMar's doing. But DeMar, he's actually in starting lineup. We get that. But Rudy Gay is not going to get NBA minutes. And I honestly don't see the Bulls signing Rudy Gay. But he was third on the list because, there's been rumors going around and stuff about him and the Bulls having talks, or like the Bulls being interested in him. But it's not going to happen with Rudy Gay. I just wanted to add him on the list. But the top two guys are definitely Christian Wood and Javonte Green, just to fill out that last rotation spot at the 14th spot. And I think Christian Wood could definitely bring an impact to the team, and Javonte Green. But Christian Wood would definitely have the biggest impact by just providing and showing the young guys and being a mentor to the young guys and showing them what they have to do. But that's going to be all for this one, guys. Let me know what you guys think about my list of people that the Bulls should sign. And let me know what you think about Derrick Jr. with the signing with the Mavs. And that's going to be all. Hit that sub button for more Bulls and Cubs content. And see red and see blue. Peace.